went missing from. And they went missing under similar circumstances where their cars are crashed and there's not a whole lot of evidence and the girls are just missing. But now, today, the cops do not think the cases are related. So, Brianna Maitland was born on October 8th, 1986 in Birmingham, Vermont. Her parents were Bruce and Kelly Maitland. Brianna grew up near the Canadian border in the northern part of Vermont, and she grew up on a farm in East Franklin. East Franklin was a small town, and if you look at the pictures online, it kind of looks a lot like a small, quaint town right out of a movie. October 2003, Brianna turned 17 years old. Now, she thought at this time it would be best if she attended a different high school than the one that she was attending. I guess she, had friends in a different town and she kind of wanted to go to this different school. Most of Brianna's friends lived about 20 minutes away in a town called Montgomery, Vermont. She thought she would go down to Montgomery and enroll in the high school there so she could be with her friends. And Brianna's parents agreed to this. And Brianna moved in with a friend in Montgomery, Vermont. So Brianna begins to really hop from friend's house to friend's house, not really having anywhere stable to stay. So from like October to February, Brianna's grades started slipping, and this was due to her circumstances and her not really having a consistent place to stay, because she was just hopping from friend's house to friend's house. In the year 2004, Brianna decided to drop out of her new school, and she was just going to work. She just decided that she was done. Now, I seen an article that had said it was possible that she was being bullied. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I did read that somewhere. So it's very possible that she was being bullied, and that's why she wanted to drop out. So then she decided, instead of moving back home, she would move in with her best friend, Jillian Stout. She had known Jillian for years, and they decided she decided to move in with her. They had grown up together. At the time, Jillian lived in Sheldon, Vermont, which was about 20 to 30 minutes away from Montgomery and East Franklin. Now, these towns kind of formed a triangle, with East Franklin being at the top, and Montgomery was kind of, I guess, at the bottom. No, I'm sorry, Sheldon was at the bottom and Montgomery was off to the side. So after Brianna moved in with Jillian, she decided she wanted to get her GED so she could go on to college. And at some point in February of 2004, Brianna the friend's name was Keely Lacrosse. And I seen that it said basically that Brianna was flirting with Keely's boyfriend, and Keely, I guess, confronted her about it. And I've also seen an account where it said multiple girls, or like two other girls that were with Keely, jumped in on Brianna. Now, I seen an account where it said that Brianna like went to get in her boyfriend's truck after all of this, after she flirted with this girl's boyfriend, and Keely came outside and Brianna rolled down the truck window and Keely punched her in the face. So there were a couple of different accounts of that, but needless to say, Keely did attack Brianna. And it was over, I guess, Brianna flirting with her boyfriend or something along those lines. So I seen that it said Brianna would not fight Keely back because Keely was her friend and she didn't want to do that. So the next day, a friend convinced Brianna to go to the hospital where she was treated for cuts, black eyes, a broken nose, and a concussion. She filed a criminal complaint against Keely in the following days. During the following weeks, Brianna continued to try and get her GED while she was working 2 jobs. On March 19th, she took her GED, and after the tests, she and her mom, Kelly, decided to go and celebrate. Now, I have seen where it says that they went to a department store and I guess they were just kind of shopping around, and they had, I guess, grabbed lunch before they went to this department store, and I guess it was in the mall. And they were waiting in line to pay when I guess something kind of distracted Brianna, and her mom to this day doesn't know what it was, but Brianna had gone outside, and when Brianna had left her mom in line and was like, I'll meet you at the car. And when her mom got outside, she said that Brianna was very shaken up and she regrets not getting an answer as to what happened to this day, because that could be some of the answers. But Brianna was shaken up about something. I guess she saw something in the mall, or, something happened. We're not sure what. And she told her mom that she needed to go so that she could get ready for her night shift job at the Black Lantern Inn, and this was a restaurant. So Kelly drove Brianna to Jillian's in Shelby between 3:30 and 4 p.m. Brianna got ready for her shift like normal. And she left to go to work in her pale green 1985 four-door Oldsmobile. And she headed for the Black Lantern Inn. Now, Brianna never made it home that night. And Jillian assumed that Brianna had gone to stay with her parents. Brianna had left Jillian a note saying that she was going to work and she would be home later. So 3 days went by and Jillian had not heard from Brianna. neighbors reported Brianna missing, and after the report was filed, but bells went off in police's head. So when Kelly and her husband Bruce go to the police department to file this missing person report on Brianna, police actually have these pictures of Brianna's car, and I'm not sure why it wasn't reported to them earlier, but they show it to Kelly's mom, and right away she said that she felt sick at her stomach, and all she saw was evil in the picture. Now, this picture is of Brianna's car backed up into this old abandoned barn, and police said that they really believe that this was staged. So they were kind of upset that police had not called them because the car was actually registered to Kelly's mom, but police assumed that Brianna was the main driver, although I would think that they should have called Kelly since it was registered to her. So her car, like I said, was backed up into this old abandoned barn, and it was on Route 118. Several people that morning had actually stopped to take pictures of the car because of its strange placement, and it just looked so strange. You know, you just don't see a car backed up into a barn like that. Like, maybe if it looked like the car had run through the barn, but the back end of it was backed up into the barn. So it's very eerie. When I decided to do this case and saw that, I got chills. It just was so strange. So law enforcement began to gather evidence, and there was a lot of it. Inside of the passenger seat, there were 2 paycheck stubs that were uncashed from the Black Lantern Inn, and they were addressed to Brianna, or written out to Brianna. On the passenger floor, there was a half-eaten burrito in a styrofoam takeout container. There was also Brianna's migraine medication and her driver's license, her contacts, and most of her clothes. Now, next to the Dutch barn, there was a fleece jacket, but it was later determined not to be Brianna's. I also saw accounts where they said that there was a water bottle and I guess a necklace, I believe a silver necklace, on the ground next to her car. I'm assuming that this was Brianna's, but I didn't see anybody confirm it. There was also a lot of loose change. So they visited her work and spoke with all of her coworkers, and all of them said that she had worked a normal shift and left like normal in her car. So they said that she had left between 11:30 p.m. and 12 a.m. after work. So law enforcement thought the car had been abandoned, just like Brianna's friends and family. They have no idea at this point that Brianna is missing. They're just assuming that the car was abandoned, when they found it. So before her mom came in and filed the police report, they just assumed it was an abandoned car, which to me the way that the crime scene was, or they don't think it's a crime scene, but with the way everything was, I mean, it just seemed really strange to me. A month after Brianna's disappearance, an anonymous tip comes in that Brianna was being held against her will, and the Vermont State Police raided a home in Berkshire on Reservoir Road. Inside, they found 2 drug dealers, drugs, and no sign of Brianna. The dealers' names were Raymond Ryans and Nathaniel Charles Jackson. And they actually knew Brianna. So I have seen, again, several accounts of this. There are a lot of rumors that circulated around this case, but I have seen accounts where it is possible that she was having a relationship with Raymond Ryans. And I've also seen accounts where it just said that she could have been getting drugs from them. But regardless, the boys knew Brianna. So it was said, again, this is all rumors, but people speculated that Brianna could have been taken for a drug debt. Now, I didn't see anything that continued on this theory, but with her possibly having an affair with Raymond, I guess that's possible, but we don't have any proof of this, and we don't have any proof that Brianna and Raymond were even together. This is all just speculation and rumors. So both of them were arrested on drug charges, and law enforcement, they thought that if they had arrested them on these drug charges, they would talk about what they knew about Brianna. And Raymond Ryans, remember the guy she is possibly having this affair with, did decide to cut a deal with the prosecutor, and he would give them information he had on Brianna in exchange for a lighter sentence. Now, neither the family nor the public know what information he had on Brianna, but he got 45 days, which came out to time served, so I guess he didn't really do any time. So I'm thinking he had to have some really good information, but then, nothing's changed in her case, so I'm kind of confused. I don't know. As of now, neither Ryan nor Jackson's has ever been arrested in connection with Brianna. But Ryan's choice to go to New York brought about another theory to police. So, at the time that Brianna went missing, women were being moved from Vermont to New York to be put into sex trafficking. There is no evidence to point towards this, but in 2006, police actually got some footage of a woman on security footage at a casino, Caesars World Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This woman strongly resembled Brianna, and police actually went out there to try and identify this woman and the man that she was with that was on the tape, but they said they couldn't track down the woman or the man. Now, her mom has said that she doesn't believe this was Brianna, and I'm not sure how they even got this tape. I don't know if somebody sent it into them or what, but they did follow up on this. They couldn't confirm or deny. So throughout the years, investigators have pursued leads, but unfortunately, none of them have led them to Brianna. It was thought originally that her case, again, could be connected to the Maura case, but police now no longer believe that. She has been missing almost 18 years in March. So, one other weird thing that happened was in July of 2016, the barn that Brianna's car was backed into mysteriously burned down. Which is so strange, but there was a couple of theories. So there was a woman who claimed that Brianna had been killed and dumped on a local farm, and basically fed to these hogs. Now, this was on a podcast I watched, but this was never, again, it was just rumors. Now, I also read, but I didn't find a whole lot of information on it. I also read that they found in her car a syringe, a pair of her Victoria's Secret panties. They found blood under the armrest and vomit in the floorboard. You know, I'm wondering what's up with that. But there are so many theories in this case. Could it have been human trafficking? Could someone have been in her car? And another theory is that Keely LaCrosse, the girl who beat up Brianna or jumped Brianna, had something to do with it, because she had said that Brianna would no longer be around, just making these comments to people. Also, Keely had another charge where she had broken into someone's home and beat them up, I believe, in like a robbery. So it could be that. I definitely think that with someone, or with the way that her car was placed, someone was possibly in her car already, like when she got into it. Because I feel like if her car had been run off of the road, there would have been evidence of this. So I'm wondering how someone got her off the road. Or did she leave work and go pick up someone? Did she go meet someone? I don't know, but these are all, theories. I'm also very interested on the information that Raymond shared with police, to where he didn't even do any time. I'm wondering if it was even information on Brianna, or if he just gave them some kind of other information he had on drugs and stuff, and that's why he didn't do any time. I guess we'll never really know. I truly hope and pray that someday Brianna's family can get some justice. I am praying for them and thinking of them. So, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, or evening. Also, I do want to quickly give you guys the information if you have any info on Brianna's case. Brianna had brown hair and hazel eyes. She had a scar on her forehead, and her left nostril was pierced. She was 5'5" and Please remember that no detail is too small and you can remain completely anonymous. Please call the Vermont State Police at 802-524-5993. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another true crime case. I am loving y'all's suggestions. Thank you so much for them. Keep them coming down below. And I will see you guys again in my next video.